People are clearly not happy with the way Brexit happened because largely the opinion or the consensus was that people would vote to stay within the UK, within the European Union. But as things panned out, eventually the votes were more in favor of a Brexit or an exit of Britain from the EU. And that's where there's a second EU referendum being called for, where people are suggesting that another referendum be held where it'll clearly be decided as to whether the UK actually stays in the European Union or leaves. And already this petition has surpassed 1.3 million signatures by Saturday. And eventually, what turns out is what is going to be seen. Largely, what is felt is that even though the larger number was in favor of Britain actually leaving the EU, but a lot of people feel that probably this decision is not going to pan out in favor of the UK as a whole. And that's where we see that such petitions are coming up. It's not only this petition, and mind you that any such petition, once it crosses a certain number of signatures, for instance, when it goes above 10,000, the UK government is bound to respond, and then the parliament has to debate any petition that crosses 100,000 signatures. And right now, this petition we're already seeing 1.3 million, as I mentioned. So therefore, how things pan out is what is going to be seen. Largely, the opinion is that even though there were a lot of people who actually voted staying out, coming out of European Union, they've actually had a change of heart, wherein they feel that they voted in favor of leaving European Union, but they never thought that eventually the numbers of such people would be so much that the final total outcome would be that Britain would actually leave the European Union. So that's where they are probably thinking that if given a second chance, because knowing fully well that there are a lot of negatives attached to leaving the European Union, they might as well, the second time around, they might as well vote in favor. That is, they remain within the European Union, which is largely what is probably most favorable. Because if you look at London, for example, London is largely in favor of remaining within the European Union. So, therefore, if you look at this map, for instance, you have the red areas which have voted in favor of leaving the European Union, whereas the blue are in favor of remaining within the European Union. And you can see that London clearly lies there. Scotland has very, very clearly voted in favor of remaining within the European Union. And if you look at this petition signatures, you'll find that these are the areas where more of these petitions have come up, where people are looking at a second time around that the opportunity to vote and have a final outcome be decided once again. Overall, let's see how things pan up. And if this petition goes the way it is going, there's every chance that a second vote will be held. And then in that instance, we are very likely to see that Britain will go against the outcome of this particular voting. And finally, we'll see that Britain will well and truly remain within the European Union.